Hello, my name is Claudia Tornquist. I'm the president and CEO of Kodiak Copper. Kodiak is a copper porphyry exploration company focused on North America. It was founded and is chaired by Chris Taylor. And our main project is a project called MPD in southern British Columbia, where we made a discovery 2 years ago, the Gate Zone, and have been very busy drilling since, and are just preparing for a large drill program on multiple targets again this year.
Claudia, thank you very much for the introduction. Good to see you again. I love a big drill program. Tell me about what you've got planned for this year. What are you hitting?
Well, we have a number of targets on our list that I'm very excited about. Keep in mind that MPD is a multi-center porphyry system. That's what we are seeing in our data. We have multiple intrusions. The Gate Zone, where we made the discovery, that's the first one we drilled, and we're fortunate to discover a high-grade porphyry center. And we spent most of our drilling over the last 2 years on the Gate Zone and expanded it to quite significant dimensions. And this year will be an exciting year in that we are now taking the approach that led to the discovery success at Gate, and will test multiple other targets on the property.
We will come back to Gate, but you talk about the MPD zone being 18 target areas. One of the most important things you've got to do in exploration is make sure that you're not missing something great just because you're focused on let's say the Gate Zone. There might be something else good out there, so I can understand why you're wanting to test other target areas. Of the 18, how many are you going to be able to test this year?
Well, exploration is always, the answer is always it depends, but our aim is to test at least 4 or 5 of these other targets, and they are in many ways very similar to the Gate Zone pre-discovery, in that we have targets that are previously drilled by previous operators, have shallow copper and gold mineralization already drill proven, have never been tested deeper. And for example, the man target, which is very high on our priority list this year, is the point in case. With that target, we have done some geophysics, and we have now discovered an anomaly that goes down to 600 meters below the shallow mineralization that has been drilled and trenched in the past. And that's obviously a fantastic drill target, and it will be very exciting to test the man zone deeper, just like we did at the Gate Zone.
And when you say shallow, the historic drilling, what do you mean? As in kind of a few hundred meters, 100 meters, 50 meters? What?
The historic drilling on the property, there was a lot of historic drilling, 50,000 meters, and on average, each of those holes was 120 meters in depth. And to take the analogy with the Gate Zone, what we did there is we drilled down to 700, 800, 900 meters below that shallow mineralization and found significantly higher grades. And the same is what we will try for at the man zone and at other porphyry targets on the property, for example, down south in the X area as well.
Okay, so I'm just doing a little bit of mental arithmetic. Let's say you do a few holes which are 800 meters on a project. Let's perhaps, or a bit less, because the man geophysical target is, you said went down to 600 meters. So you could kind of probably get between, I don't know, a handful of holes on a target like man. You may even get to as many as 10 holes if the geology warrants it. But is that the kind of the planning that you think, right, we're going to definitely put in 2 and then we'll see how we go, and it might lead to more holes?
Yeah, this year's drill program would be somewhat different from previous years, because in previous years we focused primarily on Gate and around Gate. And this year the aim is to test multiple targets with a couple of holes each, as you say, and then the aim, of course, is to discover the high-grade sources of these intrusions, just as we did at the Gate Zone. So it's an exciting year because the aim is really to make more discoveries like the Gate Zone and really show and prove the size potential of the MPD property.
Great. And just in terms of what you've defined to date in terms of dimensions, because exploration is tricky in a big license area, and it'd be useful just to kind of get a reminder of the dimensions of great zones, so I can kind of picture in my head what are the similar style targets you're looking for.
Look, the gate zone, we've so far drilled mineralization over 1 kilometer in strike and down to a depth of 900 meters and to a width of 350 meters. So it's already quite significant size. And several of these other targets they have equally large surface expressions of the associated surface anomalies, and it will be very exciting to test those and see what we can find.
Great. When do you think the drilling will start? Are you going to wait for the shoulder season? Is this something you do in the summer months, or when can you start?
We are getting ready. The drill will start turning in March, as it has in previous years. And we'll drill all the way to probably December. And
1 rig or 2 rigs or more?
We start with 1 rig, and in previous years we've added a 2nd rig over the summer month. We are considering also a 3rd rig, a smaller rig for this year's program. So it'll be between 1 and 3 rigs.
And that smaller one to get into areas of harder access, or to do shallower holes, or both?
With the smaller rig, I was thinking specifically of the Bayer zone, which is a discovery we announced last year in the autumn. That's a high-grade gold-silver zone that we discovered in trenching. It's very exciting because it's a wide zone of alteration. We had 12 meters of over 3 grams gold there, open in all directions, obviously, and that one is right at surface, and we are considering more trenching there and also some shallow drilling.
Okay, so it doesn't have the same. You don't need a rig to kind of get down this 800 meters, because it's a different style of mineralization.
It's a different type of target. It appears to be a precious metal zone that very often in large porphyry systems you see precious metal zones associated with it, and it's from surface. So that's what we will be drilling. And yeah, unlike our porphyry targets, which we have been testing deeper.
Great. Well, good luck with all of that. Remind me, what is the cash position of the company, please?
We have at the moment 6 million in the treasury, so we are well funded for the work we have planned.
Great. Thank you very much. Now, yesterday you announced recently you announced the work plan for 2023, but you also picked up on the kind of the last bits of results from 2022 as well. And in total, you've drilled three target areas of the 18 at MPD, one of which is Gate, which we've spoken about. Can you tell me a little bit about the other 2, please?
Well, we had discovered a sort of near Gate smaller zone called Prime, which also has from surface mineralization and is just to the east of Gate. And the 3rd zone that we drilled last year, in the second half of last year, was Dillard, where we also released yesterday some more drill results. At Dillard, so far we have discovered and drilled primarily lower grade mineralization, a large amount of it. We've drilled over 900 meters in strike, but we haven't traced the high-grade source of this mineralization yet, the high-grade porphyry center. So we're liking that we see a lot of mineralization, and the grades are comparable to what's mined in the area, but the hunt is still on for the high-grade center associated with that mineralization, and we will likely go back to Dillard and drill more in the future.
So phase 2 drilling at Dillard probably once you've gathered more information from some of the other targets on MPD.
Well, we'll certainly look at all the information we have to date at Dillard and regroup and analyze what we have. We still have some more results coming, and once we have everything, then we'll evaluate and then plan the next steps. But in the near term and at the start of this year's program, we have some great targets lined up that will be on our priority list for drilling. That's Man, that's the X target. Spire is also very high on the priority list, and those will be drilled first.
Sorry, you mentioned the Axe target. I don't think you've mentioned that before. Can you tell me a little bit about that target, please?
The X area is the southern part of our claim, and there are multiple historically drilled porphyry centers on that part of the property, and several of them had historic drilling, and we are seeing our core logging showed us a very similar situation to what we had at Gate, in that we are seeing holes that were shallow historic holes that ended in strong copper mineralization and porphyry mineralization, but were never drilled deeper. And so we'll take exactly the same approach that led to the discovery success at Gate, and we'll test those targets deeper.
I like the sound of that. I always like drilling where you know that there's mineralization. It improves the chances of discovery. It improves the chances of success and exploration, which is always a good thing. Good. So, Claudia, if you could just kind of block out for me, kind of quarter by quarter, when you kind of the key events in the company for 2023. And I know that there's only 1 month left in the first quarter.
Well, the next sort of key event is the drill start, which will be in March, very soon, coming up. And we will then be testing several targets and sort of have regular news about our drill program and results throughout the year. And I'm very much looking forward to getting to work on these other targets. And I think we have a good chance of making more discoveries this year. This is exploration. There are no promises, but I think we have a very good probability of tracing more high-grade porphyry centers, and that's what this year is all about.
Great, Claudia. Well, thank you very much for the update, and I look forward to following the news flow during the course of the year.
Thank you.